Good morning, everyone, and thank you for attending Advantech's webinar today. And my name is Nick. Today we have three speakers, PC, Endro, and me, and each shall cover separated subtopics. In the industrial PC world, most system integrators tend to focus mainly on the core system, the industrial or embedded PCs, and the cards that are inserted in. Industrial peripherals such as RAM, flash, and displays are often the afterthought, which do not gain much attention. Today, we would like to take this opportunity to elaborate more these often ignored peripheral devices, the uses, condition, and also our differentiation. When we look into the current AIoT world, AI combined with IoT, especially the industrial application environment, reliability, durability, and long-term product availability, and the ability to customize are commonly requested. So the how are industrial peripherals differ from consumer peripheral parts? PC Wong shall be covering on flash and RAM, the technologies and selection criteria, and this shall be followed by Endro, whom shall cover industrial displays and touchscreens. If there are any questions, do post them in the chat section and our colleagues shall revert accordingly. You can also unmute after the webinar to post questions which we can have to address. Without further ado, PC Wong shall kickstart today's webinar for a deeper dive into industrial flash and RAM. I would like
All
to
right.
invite this. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Nick. All right. Let me share on my slide. All right. Good morning, everyone. Hopefully, all of you have a wonderful morning and welcome to today's webinar. Let's get started. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Well, Advantech is a well-known leading industrial embedded PC and also automation manufacturer. In fact, beyond the main core hardware, we also have been listening to many of our core customers, the system integrator, on their needs and also demands. Thus, for more than 10 years, we also have offered some of the industry-grade peripheral that can be paired with our core hardware platforms. Today, I would like to share about our own series of industry-grade flash and also RAM series, which we term it as SQFlash and also SQRAM series. Now, consumer-grade flash drives are targeted for safe environment usage, such as in-home or office use. Industry-grade flash drives are also designed and targeted for harsher environmental usage. Each industrial vertical has different demands for the flash drive. For example, machine automation. Many of such machines can be for AOI. This means automated optical inspection, pick and place, and also need a 24 hours times 7 days and the ability to withstand the vibration. The second one is on the transportation. Transportation can be segregated into for on-road deployment, such as car, bus, truck, or off-road, such as mining, rolling stock, and etc. The key considerations are wider on the operating temperature needs, vibration, and more reliable power failure protection. If the voltage tends to fluctuate during operation or have short bursts of intermittence, This means no power. A proper power failure protection mechanism is needed to protect the flash and the data. Now, if we talk about the medical equipment also need high reliability and longevity. Part of the reason is due to the high cost of medical grade for re-certification process. Military deployment also tend to seek customization for security purpose and quick erase of sensitive data. Well, the last one for the gaming is also another domain for security, and data are also paramount. All right, this slide is to show on our industry grade flash series are not only just on the typical storage device only. We also need to adapt a more holistic view. Beyond providing many different storage device form factor, we also incorporate add-on value software utility to address common needs and also design for higher reliability. If let's say you need some further customization, we are also able to help you on that. Now, let's take a look on some of the fundamental concept for flash device. Flash drive are made of non-flash memory. Non-flash memory are built up of cells that can hold bits, and such bits are turned on or off via electrical charge. However, these on and off cells are organized and tag represent the data stored in the SSD. Wow, for 2NAND technology are what the most familiar with, and there are two main types. We have SLC, single level cell, Ultra MLC, ultra multi-level cell, MLC, multi-level cell, TLC, triple level cell. A key parameter of SSD durability is the program per erase cycle. Basically, how much writes can a cell take? SLC is the best. And at the average of loops writes per cell, Ultra MLC is around 30K writes per cell. MLC is at around 3K writes per cell, and TLC at 1K writes per cell. As 2D TLC have very low write cycle, it is target more for reading rather than writing. In fact, most consumer flash nowadays, which you see are in reality is all in TLC types. All right, this is a 3D NAND. 3D NAND flash is a type of non-volatile flash memory whereby the memory are all stacked vertically in multiple layers instead of horizontally in a two-dimensional matrix like 2D NAND flash. By stacking more cells vertically in multiple layers, the storage density can increase for more. This approach allows larger storage size. The more layer, the more storage available. And so 3D NAND storage size is cheaper compared to 2D NAND. Now, a quick comparison can be seen here. The 2D NAND SLC, MLC, and also TLC. SLC, though we have a program per erase cycle of 100K writes per cell, however, the cost is high. MLC is the mainstream flash drive for the past few years. Nowadays, 3D NAND TLC has taken over the mantle. In reality, 3D NANDs come in many layers. Total, we have 5 layers, 24 layers, 48 layers, 64 layers, 96 layers, 112 layers. That one will be in the future. The mainstream are 64 and 96 layers nowadays. And as 3D NAND matures, the reliability had increased due to market trends and the ability to pack more storage and lower cost of 3D NAND flash. Most flash manufacturers are putting more resources into 3D NAND. And as such, the lead time for 3D NAND are also shorter than MLC. Let's move on to what are the benefits of 3D NANDs. So to summarize it, here are the key benefits for 3D NANDs. Higher storage capacity, ability to have higher storage capacity per layer, equal reliability, program per erase cycle, that one is similar to 2D NAND, less power, TOC, total cost of ownership, is also lower. Now, there are also a new type of 3D NAND, which is 3D single TLC. The durability for 3D NAND as TLC is similar to Ultra MLC at 30K writes per cell and half the price of Ultra MLC. We expect to see greater take-up rate for 3D NAND as TLC in the future once it is released. When to use which type? If you are just storing small amount of data per day, 3D NAND TLC shall do. However, if you are storing large dataset such as video, 3D NAND STLC is more appropriate. Let's take a look on the benefit of 3D NAND STLC. High speed, single bit structure to boot up to 3 times performance. It is also high endurance, 10 times more durable than regular industrial SSD. It allows up to 10 DWPD. True wide temperature is from -40 Celsius to 85 Celsius support. Auto grade is also can be extended. Now, a popular storage form factor found in many embedded boards right now are M.2 form factor. And this can also come in many different dimensions and also interface. Common M.2 form factor are M.2 2230, M.2 2242, M.2 2240, M.2 2280, and M.2 3052. For storage, there are two primary bus types. PCIe bus, we also know it as NVMe. This means it's the non-volatile memory express, and it is usually will connect to PCIe express. SSD are essentially high-speed memory similar to RAM, but because SATA 3.0 was only capable of 6 gigabit per second only, so SSD speed eventually patrick by directly accessing the PIC express bus rather than the antiquated SATA bus. NVMe drive can run at a speed flash memory is capable of NVMe technology. It allows SSD to unleash their true potential. This means it's very fast in write and also read speeds. So NVMe SSD also yields a 4 times or more increase in speed compared to SATA SSD. Just as upgrading from a hard drive to an SSD to make it significant difference in everything from the boot speed to file load speed. Upgrading to an NVMe SSD will yield even more gains in variety of computing tasks. So another type is on SATA bus. This is a traditional interface with theoretically limits of 6 gigabytes per second. In fact, there are many different types of interface. N key only is PCIe, or we know it as NVMe. And another interface is B plus M key, and refers to SATA interface. Yeah, you can see it from the slide here, the difference. Now, beyond storage, our SQFlash series are also incorporated with many additional software features. We have two types of software. SQ Manager, Remote Manager software, and also SQFlash utilities inbuilt. We also have various options for our SQFlash series, such as several model with TCG, Octal, FIPS 102 certification. And also it comes with a wide temperature variance for equipment builders whom need longer product availability or product longevity. We are also able to address this concern by recommending those with longer product availability with our selection. Now, this slide is to show about our SQFlash security features. Security ID. Let's talk about security ID. If you want to protect your software from cloning or copying, you can set a security ID on the flash drive. How it works is that as the SI set a specific ID key on the flash drive, write your I'm so sorry, my background is a little bit noisy. Yes, let's continue. Write your application software in such a way whereby whenever the app runs, it shall search of a specific valid security ID key that the SI has set. If that key is available, it shall run. If it is not available, the apps won't run. Whenever anyone clones the drive, everything can be cloned. The security ID cannot be cloned. It needs to be manually keyed in. If the SI do not reveal the key, the end customer cloning the flash drive with security ID unable, it shall come to a null. Now let's take a look about the emergency erase. If you want to erase some important information within 10 milliseconds in a critical situation, our SQFlash can help you on this matter. This feature is often requested by a military due to sensitive data. We can also do some further customization, such as a deleting on the firmware. Once it's done, the flash drive is rendered as unusable. Now, what is flash valve? Flash valve, if you don't want to erase your data during critical situation, you can hide the data inside the SQFlash. Only if person whom activated this can unlock the data via certain code. A lot of people also is looking for the right protection to protect your data. Our SQFlash also have this kind of features. If you want to protect your own data from being accidentally deleted, our Write Protect also can help you on this. Now, right now, let's take a look on the consumer and industrial versus industrial flash. So, as you can see from this slide, there are a difference between consumer industry grade and also industrial enterprise grade SSD. In terms of cost, consumer will tend to be lower. However, there is no security features, unstable quality, lack of longevity, and weak in technical support. Okay, now take a look on the industrial flash technology with those extraordinary features listed here. 3D NAND SSD is suitable for capacity application, for high capacity application. Now, let me go through with you on those features one by one. So, when we talk about SSD power failure protection, they are in reality two different approach. One is firmware level power failure protection. The other one is hardware level power failure protection. The firmware level power failure protection is most common. However, for higher reliability, hardware level is preferred. Let me explain a letter to you on the firmware power failure. What you see here is a basic architecture of flash drive. There is a DRAM cache and also controller, the interface to the motherboard. And once the data sent, it can be quite fast, and so it can also use the caches to regulate the speed. Now, for the firmware power failure protection, that one is the most common power failure protection. Basically, how it works, this works like a timestamp. There is a journal log active all the time. When there is a sudden power failure, and later when there is a power recover, the SSD shall check at the time the power failure or whether the power failure occurs. It shall verify whether the entire block is written in. If let's say it is in half a way done, it shall discard the entire write and also restart the writing process to the block. This is also help to reduce the error as well. Though this tends to be adequate, in reality, in the power fluctuated is quite bad, or frequently there is some error still occur as well for some situation. As such, for power sensitive or high instability scenario, firmware power failure protection is not so foolproof, what we said. Now, another approach is on the hardware power failure protection. This involves adding titanium capacitor into the entire flow. How it works? When the power is supplied, it also charges the titanium capacitor. Upon sudden power failure, the capacitor will discharge the power supply to the SSD controller. Will supply the power to the SSD controller. DRAM catches and none for a short period to allow graceful power down after all existing data are committed to the NAND flash. Hardware power failure protection costs more due to additional titanium capacitor built in, or what we say is incorporated into the design. Now, this is on the SQFlash quality testing. One major differentiation for Advantech, we will go through many different tests pure to shipment. In fact, our burn-in test pure to the shipment is 12 hours. Most manufacturers do not undergo so many battery of tests pure to the shipment. Typically, only 2 hours. In fact, some do stamping for testing. What do we mean by stamping? For example, if one is to ship 2,000 flash drive, some manufacturers take a lot. Maybe it's only 500 flash drive of the entire batch. If all 5 flash drive pass the test, the entire lot will consider pass the test. So we don't adopt this approach. Our SQFlash are all sent for testing, no sampling. Okay, now what is TBW and also MTBF? MTBF is stand for mean time between failure. It is the average time between system and breakdowns. And this MTBF, in fact, is rather crucial for some of the maintenance metric to measure some of the performance and also safety. To calculate MTBF, we divide the total number of operational hours in a period by the number of failures that occur in that period. MTBF is also usually measured in hours. To get an accurate measure of MTBF, you must collect some data and actual data from the actual performance of the equipment. Each access operates under different circumstances as is influenced, sometimes influenced by human factors, like such as design, assembly, maintenance, and many more. Now, what is TBW? TBW is stand for terabyte return. It also can be referred to as endurance. It is a metric indicated by hardware manufacturer to state how many terabytes could be returned to the solid state drive during its lifetime. The TBW metric is also one of the important elements to look into when buying an SSD. Usually, it will indicate on how long a drive can be operational, and it is useful before needing to replace it with a new one. So you can, on the slide, you can refer the formula where it's shown on the slide. Most SSD manufacturers do not publish their TBW figures, obviously, on the physical items. All right, for the rest of the slide is more on the about the SQFlash models. So right now, due to time constraint, I will go through with you of the rest of the slide. Our marketing personnel will share out the slide after this webinar. So right now, we straight away go to the SQRAM. Let's take a look on the variable features of SQRAM. Now, for the golden fingers, Advantech takes 30 micron thick as a guideline. As golden finger thicker, the contact with the slot will be tighter. This is also to prevent the loss of contact during vibration or shaking. We also have some thermal sensor, whereby this thermal sensor acts as for entire system. Beside that, we also have some advanced services as SPD secure and also conformal coating customization that we can support. Beside that, we also deliver some of the independent software to monitor DRAM operating information. All right, this is the software that I mentioned just now to monitor on the DRAM operating information. Advantech designed a real-time monitoring software, and it is an exclusive SQ Manager Cloud removed for real-time monitoring. Basically, for this type of software, it is to monitor the overall health of the status of the RAM. We have real-time DRAM operating monitoring to monitor on the overheat production record. It also will trigger you on the. We also offer you on the overheat alert management, and also on the system information integrated. All right, this one is on the cloud base. So beside on the cloud, we also have some exclusive on the on-premises DRAM real-time monitoring software to monitor on the RAM operating temperature. Now, as mentioned earlier, we build SQRAM memory hardware material with a best quality of Tier 1 IC chip and also PCB. And all solutions are fixed-bone, which can ensure for project control and also consistent quality track. We gone through the rigorous burn-in program, 100% test, and also on the compatibility test. There are also many types of RAM, unbuffered DRAM, RDRAM, LRRAM, LRDIMM RAM, ECC VLP DIMM RAM, and also rugged DIMM RAM. Advantech, we also offer RAM heatsink solution where you can place a system heatsink on top of the RAM to cool down the RAM operating temperature. This heatsink can spread heat from the hotspot through heatsink to disperse heat away to system, fans, and also to stabilize system operating quality. It also integrated with SQRAM Manager. This means SQRAM Manager that I shared with you just now, the software can do some of the triggering, and also the software will trigger you if the RAM is overheat. Now, this slide is to show on the success story of using our SQRAM. The winning factors mainly are from our wide temperature features, longevity of our product, advanced service with conformal coating. Good news, we have our SQRAM in DDR5 where we have been launching it since last Q, this means Q2, with the speed at 4,800. This slide is also to show the comparison between DDR4 and also DDR5. Apparently, DDR5 has more advantage compared to DDR4 in terms of speed, low power voltage, better power management. The physical design for DDR5 comes with higher memory efficiency, mass die density, where the cells allow higher capacity to store more data on the DRAM. So hopefully on today's sharing on SQRAM and SQFlash, those information are helpful component to help the user to improve the system integration and optimize the performance. So that's all from me. Thank you. So back to you, Nick.
Next will be Endro to follow the PC Wong speech. Hey Endro.
Okay, hi Nix.
Okay, you can start.
Hello, good morning everyone. Can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for attending this webinar. Hopefully in this pandemic, everyone is always in a good health and safe. So my coverage shall be on industrial display, touchscreen, and also how to select the appropriate model for each solution. Let's kickstart with some basic concept first. Based on the experience and common question that many clients asking is, hey, what's the real difference between consumer and industrial display? Both are display, and as long as I can see, it's clearly works properly. There's no difference yet. But in reality, we can categorize display into two types. First is consumer display. Then the second one is industrial display. Both types are engineering differently. Consumer display are typically used in office, home setting, whereas industrial display are used for specific purpose such as deploying in factory, kiosk, signage, and military, and many other applications. So here we have make some summarize the key differentiation and then comparison table. Sorry, that you can see here. Example for targeting in consumer display or TV, and then discrete monitor, and then industrial display for industrial solution for equipment, kiosks, and so mostly the consumer model are designed for a short operation hour within not supporting 24/7. So and then display resolution on consumer display need to test first with the signage player to verify whether the resolution support the frequency setting are support or not. Then the mounting like industrial display support the VESA mounting. The consumer need original manufacturer to recommend it the mounting only. Then we can see from the end life on affability for consumer only 1 year mostly. Then for industrial display is can average around 3 years. Next one, this one we have several type of industrial display here we want to introduce here. First, for IDK is industrial display kit. It's a barebone LCD panel which is no housing and only touchscreen controller is commonly usually using the LVDS connector. And this one is targeting market on equipment builder, mean people who build the machine. So machine or equipment builder typically prefer this. They can design their mounting to save the space. And then for IDS, IDS is open frame design. It means there is still have a metal bracket behind, so all of you can mount from behind. This is the most preferred approach for kiosk manufacturer. The on-screen display is control the rear for obvious reason. So because you would not want to the public user to meddle or with an on-off and brightness control and from the front. And having the OSD at the rear is more there for maintenance personal use only. So like a for troubleshoot, they can do it from behind. Then for IDS is 3000 metal brazier to cover can mount from the front as well. And then some IDP for touch monitor is professional grade 100% for touch monitor. And then we see the curved display mostly for gaming and sign-in deployment. In fact, for gaming machine, we do also provide running LED lights and then side as an option. Display solution and service. Mostly for industrial display is in front of aluminum steel. This is the front. Then the second one, we have some enhancements such as anti-reflection coating. And then the next layer is touch integration. This is like touch panel, the touch screen, and then this is the LED strap. Then plugged onto some metal frame. Is installed with a touchscreen controller and become one design display solution. We have several manufacturing places such as in Taiwan, UK, also in Holland, and in China as well. So this is several our manufacturing for display. And then we can do also a lot enhancement with optical bonding, vibration test. So much company don't really have so much this kind of facility. So we have to have ability to do it. Then how does the selecting the display? This is good for selecting guide. That we see like IDK 1000 is for normal environment, and IDK 2000 mostly for outdoor for hybrid. Then have a assembly and easy flexibility. This targeting market is for equipment builder. The main user prefer to have the flexibility to choose their own mounting method. And then we have IDS 3100. This is an open frame with default mounting or VESA mounting. OSD control must at the back side. Why? Because it's putting, as we say before, because it's putting on kiosk. Let's say have a payment kiosk and public pushing purposely oftenly, so it can do it right. So that's why we put it behind. So touchscreen connector mostly recommended using USB. This is more easier. But if we put some area within a vibration environment, then we're proposing using the RS232. For IDS 32 series with a bezel panel, and then IDS 33 series with bezel mounting, just with IP65 as well. Then we have a few series. Few series is our new brand also. This is with economical cost and have a large format of display, like a few 3000 series, 2000 series, and 5000 series. We'll elaborate more on the next slide. This is for general display and kiosk usage. Okay, next one is when we're discussing regarding the IP, IP65 or IP66, I just want to elaborate on this one. IP mean this one is ingress protection. The first numerical, first number digits about solid, we can see here on the left side. Then the second digit is liquidity. For example, IP65 mean the 6 mean here, protect from the dust. Then 5 is the pressure jet of water from all direction. You can see, or 66 means from dust, and 6 protect against the strong jet water and limited ingress permitted. So this is just want to show you the table. This is, I just want to share some ID. If you have open play display with people built in the kiosk. So kiosk is for public, and then 65 how to install it. So we can add some 3M with PHB adhesive around the panel. So it's to prevent the dust or water from the side. But sometimes the contractor also using silicone gel is okay to install, but the problem is when we need to some troubleshoot, it will be some problem will pull out the display, because it can be make stretch during the pull out the system from the panel. And then I just want to share regarding the LVDS that I mentioned before. LVDS is low voltage differentiated signal. The LVDS cannot be too far. Mostly is around 5 meter to 12 meter, but maximum is 5 meter recommendation, because the 12 meter it will be need a transmitter to support it. And then you can see the cable is customized. It depends which one we choose, 18-bit or 23-bit LVDS, or 36 and or 46-bit LVDS, two channel. This is just a reference. If you want to full HD, so its minimum must be 2 channel. So you should choose the 36 or 48-bit. Yes, more larger the bit, it will be more color supported. So I just want to share this. Maybe you all already know this is a connector on the monitor. The common one is the VGA, HDMI, and DisplayPort, and mini DisplayPort. Then LCD panel technology. When we look indoor and outdoor, we have a three type here: transmissive, and transreflective, and then reflective. The reflective is very rare now because it's mostly stopped already because it's hard to make and very costly. And then transmissive, this is the one is most common, but this is indoor only because transmissive is have a backlight. See here, backlight will shine on the screen, and then brightness to LCD, then LCD will come out. So this is will okay for indoor use. But if you put it outdoor, you cannot see because the sunlight is too bright. So we'll penetrate between this glass and will be see with ISO like in screen. You can see on the right side, see like the white on the screen. And then transflective, this is for outdoor use mostly, and we can see here there's the need. And then see the LCD type, prismatic, is quite rare also, but cheap. But you can see the glass is properly on the center and side a little blur. If you got the MVA, the multiple vertical alignment, you can see for more angle, but not good as the IPS. IPS in plane switch. The IPS, the response time is more faster, and then, so this another way to see how the LCD type. The anti-glare, just want to share here, the sunlight on the screen, you see, and then will be disposed the light so it doesn't feel too bright. For the anti-reflective, when the light coming, there's the try to cut the number of reflection, then to improve more sunlight readability. You can see here. This is what I mentioned with sunlight readability as a guideline for indoor or outdoor use. So we can see here, mostly indoor 350 nits or 300 nits. And then for semi-outdoor is 400 nit, or with transmit is 500 nit. So it's depend to this table as well. Do take note, the touchscreen can impact eventual the brightness level. So this is the high brightness enhancement. Usually you find the panel in the market is not bright, so we do some enhancement and the backlight portion. This is one. Then by doing the brightness, the slide of LCDs will be quite hot. So we're doing some way to cooling down the temperature with some semiconductor, or we add some fan. So mostly this will do in military, because military will be need to seal out the whole this panel as well. So optical bonding is a process for limitation the cover glass or touchscreen to the LCD panel. So the silicon gel urethane insert between this LCD. So the assembly is cured in a process that affix the panel together while solidifying the gel. So this is the leading for mechanical format. You see the proflat and panel mounting, open frame, and closed frame. We have such of this type. This is a customization display for sure, but for customization, we're able to do it with some MOQ, the minimum of quantity. Then this is for such as like gamma correction and become supported. And then we want just add this one as our value add as factory move from automation to smart manufacture. So the use of touch monitoring is increased dramatically. The present their use is nearly ubiquitous. Despite this, repairing and maintenance display install on large machine or display in difficult to access location remaining very difficult. So we have a new remote management software for display, which is we calling device on display. This is will be like the dashboard, so you can remote management the device, and then without you need going into individual screen to select and imaging the cost for maintenance team if you can do by remotely. So minimize to on site, so we can do by remotely, like to monitor how the condition for each display as well. So we can monitor, we can control like a backlight, and then how to reset, to adjust the brightness, and so on. So next one, I want to share for the touchscreen technology. So this most popular is resistive touchscreen. Very common but easily to spoil, to be frank. But sometimes no choice, we have to use it because not the budget, but because sometimes customer need to wear a glove. So resistive touchscreen is pressure in the field touchscreen when a finger press two set will be contact. Recognize like X and Y axis. So you must press a bit, then it will be a touch in here. Then the PCAP, projective capacitive touchscreen, is when you touch in front, you touch a glass. So the touchscreen is between the glass. It's behind the glass, like our phone example. I got any chemical on the top of the glass. It's the you can ignore, it's still used, but like a water, we need to wipe it only, then the press again, it will be work. Because the glass on the top, so it's no use. It's not used, but resistive. The touchscreen on the top, when it's cracked, it will be spoiled. So this is I want to share just adding some our new product is called View. View is it's calling from French mean view, like V for valuable, and then U for undefined design, and E for efficiency. View design orientation is like we have can control the resolution, brightness, and the rotation. Also, we able to from IP65 and power and AC DC. From I/O, we have rich I/O such as USB or RS232, then cable management, and as well for additional SDM slot. For View family, we have some View 2000, 3000, and then 5000. The 3000 is for medical monitor, some kind of medical grade, and then 2000 mostly for panel mounting, and 5000 for Sign 8 and video wall. This is the roadmap from our View 2000 and 3000. We have several types, like from 17 inch until 31 inch. This is mostly the application for View 2000 and 2000. They support IP from IP65, can support stylus pen. Also with IK08 grade, IK mean impact resistant. The higher the number, it will be more better. So when you sample, you punch on the screen, it won't be cracks. It is still there. This is the part number selection when you need the how many inch. This one can you can contact for sales in each RVU to decide wherever is matching with your solution. On the View panel mounting, the outlook, and we can add some small PC or like embedded PC behind. This is the rear view, you can see. Also support for landscape and portrait, or depend on the application to place the mount will be landscape or be portrait. The next one is view 5000 product roadmap. This is for the signage. This is have 31 inch till 86 inch. This is the USB application, same as the View 2000. This is the part number. You can discuss with the sales RBU, which is which one the match with your solution, and this is the backside. This is some case which is used for dashboard. We have a SQFlash dashboard as well for monitoring, set management, and our remote monitoring system. Okay, this is what I can share to you guys. With hopefully with in future it will be possible to choose a good and appropriate display and touchscreen technology for the solution that will be need for us as well. Please feel free if any concern or question. I will get back this session to Nick.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. That's also the end of our webinar. Thanks everyone for joining us today, and hope everyone keep your safe and health for your body and your family. Thank you.